Hi, fellow denizens of YouTube. I like to update you on interesting guitar purchases or acquisitions, or even recently just looking at a friend's guitar when I think it's of real interest, and I think this is of real interest. I've just bought this guitar as an instrument for keeping at my work. It's an inexpensive instrument. Precisely for me, £150, and that hopefully will last a good few years. And if the worst was to happen to it, it would make me sad, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Hence, keeping at my work. By way of comparison, what I'm going to do is let you hear a quick blind test against this guitar, which any of you who follow my musings and playings on this channel will recognise as my hand-built Mike Ritchie acoustic, which is my main acoustic guitar. I'm just going to set the scene. This cost in 2011. I'm just checking the dates inside it. 2011, £2,500, and this one cost me just yesterday £149.95 or something like that. So basically you're talking about this vast difference in price. You could have like 15 or something like these for this. So I'm going to in a little moment just give you a very short sample of each, and we play roughly the same thing, and I would love you to try and identify which one is which, and I'm just going to point out to you that it's in a poor acoustic room. I don't have a studio space. It's a converted bedroom, as many of us have to live with. I have a little bit of acoustic treatment, but it's very minor. Even the guitars hanging in the wall, resonate and ruin the already boxy acoustic in here. But I have done what I can. There are some absorbers around, but I'm doing nothing in this recording except record straight into the mic, which is a Rode NT1, a very well known standard condenser mic, and I'm not adding anything. I'm not EQing, so the room is going to be rough and ready. It won't be, honestly, you can never underestimate the bad effect of a little boxy room. However, it's the same effect on each guitar, and you should get a fair amount of the direct sound of the guitar into the microphone as well. So take it with a pinch of salt as an accurate showing of the guitars, but I think it's a pretty good comparison. Both guitars I restrung last evening, so they've both had a good bit of time to settle down. They've both got identical D'Addario light phosphor bronze strings, and I'm going to shut up now and just let the guitars speak for themselves. I'll come back afterwards and just make a few observations about this I think incredibly interesting guitar by Bromo. So, very briefly, this is a guitar that I think has to be a contender for the very best value I have ever seen in a guitar. I got this from a shop I tend to go to most in Glasgow, Jimmy Egypt's guitar store. And I mention that simply because I think the service was also a big part of the pleasure of this deal. I was looking for a very inexpensive guitar to keep at my work. I've sold the one I had there because it wasn't really suiting what I wanted for various reasons. And with the money I sold it for, I've bought this. This was about £150. I think specifically I paid 150, like give or take a few pence. I am delighted with it. I played it a couple of times when I was in the shop over the last few months, and I really was impressed by it. And they had pointed out to me that they also felt it was a great value instrument. It's by Bromo, who are actually a business who I think, from what I've seen on the internet, produce things like the Mahalo ukuleles and various other brands that are very, very common within guitar stores. But they seem to have started this brand now of guitars, Bromo, from Java, Indonesia, and it has a headstock. I'm just going to bring it closer to the camera, with a very distinctive design. And can I just say, I really don't like the distinctive design. My eye goes far too readily to that headstock. I've got to say, it's supposed to be the local volcano. To me, it looks like someone's put a blonde toupee on the acoustic guitar. I'm going to forgive it though, because it's £150. And look at the body. It's a solid top. I don't know whether it's cedar or mahogany. I'm going to guess. I should know this. Cedar. Anyway. It's simply made. It's got a nice little inlay at the heel, which is pretty enough. It's not perfect. I can see tiny bits of glue, like on the binding just here, there's a little bit of glue. It doesn't bother me in the least because the price is so little. And above everything else, the sound is great. And for me, one of the great tests of an acoustic guitar sound is, does it have a sweet tone with dynamics? If it doesn't have the dynamics, it's no good, no matter how nice its basic sound. This has dynamics by the bucket load. Loud, quiet, does it all. So they've obviously got a good piece of timber here. Looking at their website, as far as I can see, what they've done is quite sensibly automated everything. It looks from the pictures as though it's all laser cut jigs. So as long as they've got a decent piece of timber on the front, bit of careless gluing. And the other fault, which I'm not mentioning, is that although these machine heads, which are branded Bromo, I don't know if you can actually see those. In fact, I'm not helping. Are terrible. They just have a rotten feel. They're a wee bit vague, What I will say is, having played it for about 24 hours and played it for probably a good hour or so, the thing that strikes me is it doesn't slip from tuning. I don't know why. So the tuners feel vague and horrible, but they don't slip. So I'm happy with it. Absolutely delighted. So honestly, one other thing to say about it, you can't, I'm sure, see this. Let me try one more time to see if I can make this happen. If you can see inside the sound hole there, which you probably can't. No, I'm going to post a separate picture of it. The bracing has got holes, oval holes cut through the bracing spacings along it. I'm presuming to help it to vibrate more readily. Certainly the bracings aren't as finely made as in my beautiful Mike Ritchie hand-built acoustic, which are finer pieces of bracing. But I guess if you're going to do something quick and cheap, which they must have done to get this guitar out at this price, then perhaps these holes do make a cheaper piece of wood, resonate and breathe more easily. It's worked. This is a guitar that I think can compete with a really expensive guitar, and that's why I opened this short video by comparing in a blind test my £2,500 handmade guitar. I don't know what it would cost now to get that. That's from 2010 or 2011. With this £150 guitar. So when you think about that, for you would get 10 of these for £1,500. So basically, you would be getting, like 15 plus of these guitars for my one hand built guitar. You can't ignore that kind of value. This needs a bit of shouting about. So well done, Bromo. This is just an incredible piece of value. I'll post a picture separately of that binding on the video. But I hope you enjoyed trying to identify which guitar was which. I'm sure you'll agree it wasn't a runaway for the hand-built guitar. Some of you might even have preferred this because it has much to recommend it. Perhaps not having a spruce top. Sometimes there's a warmth from cedar or those more brown woods if it's a mahogany. I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's a cedar, but it's too dark to be a normal cedar. It's so hard to tell with a cheaply produced instrument. They could be using wood dyes. I don't know. I'll look up the listing and maybe put it all in the video. So thanks for listening. Rush out and get one of these if you're looking to get an inexpensive instrument that will sound many, many times its price. Thanks for listening and watching, everyone. Have a great day.